In the Pokrovsk direction, 2 Russian soldiers were spotted moving across open ground near the front line. One of them carried a thermobaric RPG. Ukrainian drone operators responded instantly. The lead soldier was the first to be engaged by an incoming FPV drone. Seconds later, a second drone locked onto the trailing soldier. Caught in panic, he stumbled and fell. The drone adjusted its course and completed the strike. The weapons never reached their target. The threat ended before it could begin. A lone Russian soldier moved steadily along a quiet road, unaware of the eyes locked on him from a nearby bush. From the shadows, a Ukrainian soldier stepped out, rifle raised. No words, no warning. One shot ended the encounter before it began. Today's footage captures the final moments of several Russian soldiers moving alone near the Pokrovsk direction, caught in open terrain without support. They were identified and targeted by the Wormbusters unit of the 414th UAS Brigade, known as Magyar's Birds. Each drone strike was deliberate. No chaos, no confusion, just calculated removal of exposed threats. These were not random encounters. They were consequences of isolation in a battlefield watched from above. When skies are controlled, even a single step without cover can become the last. In a quiet section of forest, 2 Russian soldiers stopped to rest. One positioned himself behind a large tree trunk. The other hid low in nearby brush. Moments later, a Ukrainian FPV drone closed in and struck the soldier behind the tree. His comrade saw the impact and fled without hesitation, leaving the scene without even looking back. In these moments, survival instincts reveal more than strategy. A Ukrainian drone recorded a lone Russian soldier under extreme pressure, making a sudden and irreversible decision. In a ruined sector, a Russian soldier broke into a small structure, attempting to hide in panic. Overhead, a Ukrainian drone silently tracked him. Moments later, a grenade was released from above, striking the roof and neutralizing the threat. Not far away, another drone followed a separate Russian soldier crossing a grassy field. A second grenade dropped, landing just meters from his path. From urban corners to open terrain, air superiority left no blind spots. Near Pokrovsk, a Russian soldier spotted a Ukrainian drone lying disabled on the ground. Believing it inactive, he approached and threw a grenade toward it. The explosion came instantly, an unintended detonation that destroyed both man and machine. The moment captured the thin margin between control and chaos on the modern battlefield. Across an open field of tall grass, a Ukrainian FPV drone locked onto a Russian soldier hiding among the blades. The drone descended, adjusted its path, and neutralized the target with precision. Moments later, deep within a wooded area, another drone found a second soldier concealed beneath dense foliage. The result was the same. Farther away, near a riverbank, a third soldier crouched in reeds by the water's edge. The drone spotted the movement, closed in, and silence followed. A Russian drone attempted to strike a Ukrainian antenna system, but failed to complete its mission. As it dove toward the target, it became lodged in the antenna structure and did not detonate. The system remained intact. 2 Russian soldiers were resting in an open field when a Ukrainian FPV drone closed in and struck their position nearby. Another drone dove toward a soldier who managed to shoot it down, but the blast still disabled him. In a nearby forest, one desperate soldier, out of options, threw his radio toward the approaching drone. Across the area, others tried to move alone, only to be spotted and neutralized one by the unblinking eyes above. Unmanned aerial vehicles from Ukraine's primary unit carried out a series of coordinated precision strikes across occupied Crimea. The operation successfully hit a Russian BK-16 landing craft, an S-400 air defense radar, a P-18 Terek early warning system, and a Nebo-U radar array. Each target was selected for its role in airspace monitoring and coastal defense, marking a significant disruption to Russia's situational awareness and command infrastructure on the peninsula. In the Kramatorsk direction, a group of Russian soldiers paused to rest at the edge of a forest. A Ukrainian heavy bomber drone appeared overhead and dropped 2 precision munitions, neutralizing the group instantly. The strikes didn't end there. Minutes later, nearby, a series of follow-up drones began targeting individual Russian soldiers moving alone across open ground, one after another. They were eliminated. The tree line offered no safety. The sky was never clear. Heavy drone patrols now turn rest zones into risk zones without warning. FPV drones and heavy bombers from Ukraine's border UAS unit Phoenix launched a coordinated assault in the Pokrovsk direction, targeting Russian infantry, mechanized vehicles, and a towed artillery piece. The engagement began with FPV drones striking forward infantry positions, forcing disarray among enemy ranks. Moments later, heavy bomb-dropping UAVs followed, delivering precision payloads on vehicles and artillery caught in retreat. The synchronized air operation dismantled both offensive momentum and logistical support, underscoring how layered drone tactics combining speed, altitude, and timing can dominate the battlefield while minimizing exposure for Ukrainian operators. In the Donetsk region, a Ukrainian Special Forces team was tasked with reconnaissance and direct action behind enemy lines. The success of nearby units depended on their outcome. Quietly, the soldiers breached Russian rear positions, neutralized 3 enemy combatants, and secured communication gear, navigation equipment, and critical documents. The operation didn't just remove threats, it unlocked insight. Their findings enhanced real-time awareness across the sector. It was more than a raid. It was battlefield clarity. Information gathered under pressure becomes the sharpest weapon in future engagements. In the Lyman direction, Ukraine's Signum Battalion deployed a fiber-optic FPV drone to strike Russian tanks, mortar crews, and artillery positions. The direct tether ensured uninterrupted control despite heavy jamming, allowing operators to guide the drone with pinpoint precision. The result was a coordinated series of hits that dismantled multiple fire assets. In the Pokrovsk direction, Ukraine's 38th Marine Brigade identified and destroyed a Russian armored personnel carrier moving along a rural route. The BTR was engaged with precision, halting its advance before it could reach frontline positions. The strike was quick and final. No escort, no defense, just one vehicle, one moment, and one decision. Even armored transport becomes vulnerable when isolated and exposed to targeted drone surveillance. In the Pokrovskoye direction, Ukraine's elite Omega Special Forces launched a direct operation against advancing Russian troops, using a combination of small unit tactics and drone coordination. They intercepted enemy movement before it reached the front. Each engagement was fast, calculated, and final. The advance did not continue. It stopped where Omega stood. Special operations remain the sharp edge when timing decides momentum. Near the village of Voron, Ukraine's 3rd Battalion of the 225th Assault Regiment ambushed a Russian combat vehicle moving along a secondary route. The initial strike forced the soldiers on board to abandon the vehicle in panic. They scattered into nearby fields, but the ambush wasn't over. Ukrainian FPV drones pursued them one by one, eliminating each target. The escape attempt turned into a sequence of isolated takedowns. The vehicle was the trap. The exit was the trigger. In the Siversk direction, a Russian motorbike assault group attempted to advance and dismount for an attack, but was intercepted by Ukrainian FPV drones. Moments later, tanks and armored vehicles preparing to follow were also destroyed before reaching their staging points. As the assault collapsed, Russian infantry tried to push forward on foot, only to face a wave of FPV strikes that forced a full retreat. The engagement demonstrated how layered drone defenses can dismantle entire assault formations before they make contact. Throughout the week, A single drone pilot from Ukraine's 3rd Battalion of the 155th Separate Marine Brigade conducted multiple precision strikes in the Pokrovsk direction. Operating FPV drones under heavy interference, he successfully destroyed a Russian tank, a towed howitzer, several infantry positions, and 2 fortified dugouts. Each target was confirmed through aerial reconnaissance before engagement, showcasing not just accuracy, but the growing effectiveness of individual UAV operators shaping the modern front line.